Well, I told myself I was only going to do this once, but unfortunately, I was talking and I was not recording. So, take dos. Hola, soy Mónica. Soy de Mississippi. Yo tengo un esposo y una hija. Y soy 27. Yo sé números y meses y qué hora es y comida, pero, pero no tengo some basic sentence formations. Hoy es hoy es primer meses de español para mí. Today is kind of just like a progress check for me. If I said it correctly, today is 1 month of me learning Spanish. And so today I'll be reading Spanish, or in my whole progress check, I'll be reading Spanish. I'll be translating Spanish, and then I'll be talking a little bit about the resources that I've been using, what works, what doesn't work, and kind of what I want to do going forward. Reading. So I'm going to be reading from lingua.com. I think that's how you say it. I basically just looked up some simple passages for people who are in their beginner stage of learning Spanish. And this short passage is called Mi Nueva Casa. Yo vivo en Granada, una ciudad pequeña que tiene momentos muy importantes como la Alhambra. Aquí la comida es delicioso y son famosos el gazpacho, el rebujito y el salmorejo. Mi nueva casa está en una calle ancha que tiene muchos árboles. El piso de arriba de mi casa tiene 3 dormitorios y un despacho para trabajar. El piso de abajo tiene una cocina muy grande, un comedor con una mesa y 6 sillas, un salón con 2 sofás verdes, una televisión y cortinas. Además, tiene una pequeña terraza con piscina donde puedo tomar el sol. Además, tiene una pequeña terraza con piscina donde puedo tomar el sol en verano. Me gusta mucho mi casa porque puedo invitar a mis amigos a cenar o a ver fútbol en mi televisión. Además, cerca de mi casa hay muchas tiendas para hacer la compra, como panadería, carnicería y pescadería. And that is me reading. I hope it didn't sound too bad. That is me reading Mi Nueva Casa. I live in Grenada, a small have mementos that are important. Here, the food is delicious and with famous gazpacho, rebujito y el. Okay, I know. I think this is salmon. My new house is on a street that has many. What is árboles? My house has 3 rooms and an office for work. What is el piso? Okay, so something has cooks. I think this is cook. Verdes is green. Television. So maybe this is saying the kitchen has, okay, or the house has green sofas and a television. And además has small, pequeña terraza, something with piscina where puedo tomar el sol en verano. Okay. The next paragraph says, mi gusto. I like my house a lot because I think he says he invites his friends. He likes his house because he invites his friends. He can invite his friends for beer. I think cenar. I think that's beer. For beer. Or to watch football on the television. Además, I don't know what that means, but I would like to know. Cerca de mi casa hay muchas tiendas para hacer la compra. Okay, so my house, I have a lot for hacer. I don't remember what hacer means. Como Pandora? Pescaderia. Oh, maybe this is saying he has food for pescatarians. So people who don't eat meat, people who eat meat, and I don't know what Campari is. Oh, and then also the title, My New House. So yeah, that is me translating 1 month in. First, I'm going to talk about the 4 main resources that I've been using in this month. The first is Duolingo, which is an app. The next is everybody's trusted and tried and true and favorite, YouTube. And the main channels I've been watching or using, I guess for instruction, have been Butterfly Spanish, Dreaming Spanish, Fluent U Spanish, and occasionally Steve Kaufman for a little bit of guidance on what I should be focusing on in the first months and also motivation. The third resource I've been using is podcasts. specifically Duolingo Spanish and a podcast called Learn Spanish, Help Me Spanish. Duolingo basically is just telling short stories in Spanish, and then it has someone speaking English in between just to add context. And then the Learning Spanish is basically say hola, hola. Say, where are you from? ¿Dónde está? Yeah, so that, and it's Spain Spanish, which there is a difference I have learned now. And then number 4, I have been using books, specifically Madrigal's Key to Spanish. I haven't had this one for that long. I've actually only had it for maybe 2 weeks as of now, so not that long. And also, I think I said in the beginning, but I have a daughter. So I actually went to my local library, and we have been getting books from the library, some kids' books. So this is our 2nd week of doing that. And this is what we have so far. So we got our Celebración, Fire Fuego, Brave Bomberos, and what else do we have? La Princesa and the Pea. And I like these books a lot, actually. Oh, I actually forgot. And Coquina Betty Crocker. I like these books a lot. One, because I can actually like sit down every night and do them with my daughter. But also because the whole thing's not in Spanish. Like I got one last week that was called Como Estás? Oh, no. My favorite one, and I know it's gonna sound weird. Last week we had one that was called Tengo Hambre. Now in the book, I haven't got to that. In the Madrigal's book, I haven't got to that. And in the Duolingo app, I don't think I got to that either, to be honest. But it was so cool because like they would say like, Tengo hambre. And he would ask like, well, what do you want to eat? And he would suggest, plátano, pastel, galletas, pan con mantequilla, I think that's how you say it. And it would have the picture. So it was a lot easier for me to, I guess, understand. And it was a lot easier for me to remember that. Especially with the Como Estás one, which I want to get the Como Estás one again, but I didn't want to just stay on the same thing every week. But yeah, those have been super cool to me. I just got these ones yesterday. So I didn't actually read these ones yet. But I also got this one. This was not actually like a kid's book. It's a cookbook. And I just thought it'd be interesting. Maybe it would help me learn a little bit more some vocabulary words. Hey y'all, I actually forgot to mention too that I did turn my phone to Spanish early on, and it has been like super helpful. I'm not gonna lie, when I first did it, I was kind of scared because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to delete anything or mess up something or lock myself out of something. But I've been making it. I've been doing it. And it's also good that I turned it to Spanish because seeing my phone in Spanish every day is also like a motivation and a reminder for me to stay consistent with the language. So yeah. So what has worked for me so far? What has not worked so far? Attempting conversations with natives. Where I am currently residing, there are plenty of Spanish-speaking people around, but I am not even close to ready to being able to initiate conversations. So when I attempted to, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like I feel like I'm not good, and I don't like doing it right now. Because I can't understand anything, and I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm learning Spanish, and then they'd be like, blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't know. So, yeah. What else hasn't worked so far? I hate to say it, but it's not that Duolingo hasn't worked. I just felt like if I kept using Duolingo, I would be delayed. And not that Duolingo's a bad app. Duolingo's not a bad app at all. But it's very easy for me to like on a day that I don't feel like studying anything, or a day I don't feel like reading or listening, to just go and Duolingo and just start playing. And after like 2 weeks, I realized that I was only doing Duolingo. And because of that, I get vocabulary here and there, but it was me being able to connect it all that was helpful. So I don't think I'll be done with Duolingo forever. I think just as of now, I need to be focusing on the foundational stuff. What are my favorites so far? As I said already, these kids books. Like I said, I really do love reading these because it just having it in Spanish and then their responses being in English, not necessarily just a translation. It helps me, I guess, kind of put two and two together. Another one of my favorites has been the YouTube, specifically Butterfly Spanish, because I kind of feel like it's a classroom setting that I didn't get in high school, because I didn't take Spanish in high school. I took French, so I actually really am starting from zero. But yeah, I love Butterfly Spanish. It's great. It's a great way for me to get the foundations of things. That's how I learned how to tell time. That's how I learned numbers. That's how I even learned the alphabet. Not take it back. I remember specifically I was trying to listen to a video that was like a song, but it just wasn't clicking for me. And then I watched the Butterfly Spanish, and after that I was like, oh. And then I went back to the YouTube to the little kid song, and now I can be like, B, C, D, E. And I even sing it with my daughter, so she'll be like, F, G, H, I, J, K. And yeah, I like that. It makes it so much easier for me. And then lastly, my last favorite is actually I'll tell you about, I got two more favorites. I actually really do like I like the Madrigal's Magic Key to Spanish, because it's definitely in these first few chapters is helping me connect a lot of stuff, especially with it starting off with words that are already the same in English. Doctor, proctor, just stuff like that. I like that, and it's been really helpful. And then the Duolingo Spanish podcast. Obviously the Duolingo Spanish podcast it's for intermediate Spanish listeners, but on what's that guy's name? On Steve Kaufman's video, he said the first 3 months you want to be listening a lot. And I've noticed that as I learn more words, more of the stuff in the podcast is making sense. Specifically, one of them that was talking about a lady from Puerto Rico was telling a story. She was talking about a garden that they made up in New York. I thought that was cool. And then this Antarctica one, where this guy from Argentina had to go. The more I'm learning, the more interesting, or the stories are already interesting, but the more I'm learning, the more it's kind of connecting. So lastly, I want to talk about some things that I want to do in the future. So as I said before, the Steve Kaufman YouTube, he says that in the first 3 months, you want to be listening as much as possible. You want to be trying to read, and don't focus on, hammering down and understanding every single thing, because you're not going to do that. And I noticed that with the Help Me Learn podcast. At first I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep listening to episode 1 until I get everything right. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. But that was before I saw the Steve Kaufman video. But I was like, I don't want to do that, because I just feel like I'm going to be behind. I need to keep moving forward, because eventually it'll all click. And it has, for the most part. I got to practice. I'm only a month in, so I'm not really tripping too bad. Also, I don't know if I want to do it in the first 3 months, but I really do want to kind of hammer down on the basics. Like I said, I can tell time. I know my colors. I know numbers. But there are some foundational things when it comes to like forming sentences and forming questions I think I struggle with. So I do want to focus in on that. And then eventually I want to go to Italki, because I want to start having conversations. But that's what I got for what I want to do. And then lastly, the very last thing in this progress check video is motivation. So, Monica, You're 1 month in. You're doing great. Keep going. Everything is gonna connect. It's like a puzzle piece, like a finger. You got the thumb, then your pinky, then whatever this is, and whatever this is. And it all comes together to form a hand. So don't stop, even when you get frustrated. One day you'll look back at this video and be like, man, I didn't know anything, but now I do. And lastly, for an overall grade, I would definitely probably say that I think my coming up with conversational stuff is probably the weakest right now. And I think maybe they're all going to be low, but I think I'm better at translating it, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to start grading it in the future. For the 3 categories, we're going to score on a scale of 1 to 10. Where is my freestyle at, or freestyle conversation? Where is reading at, and where is translating at? What level? 1 through 5. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Great job, Mom. Bye.